Good morning, everybody. It's time to do chores. I'm going to try to get them done as fast as I can so I can go back down to the road and fix the fence. If you saw my last video, the road crew completely messed up the fence, and I spent until dark last night trying to fix it, and I did not finish. Good morning, piggies. Let's get your food really quick. Get you guys done. All right, let's get their food quick. Okay, piggies are fed. Very hungry this morning. I'm sorry, I'm late, okay? Well, you got your breakfast now. And all my barrels over at the cows are empty. That means I'm going to have to carry all my food over. And the tractor's not working. And all my buckets are there. So I got to go get my buckets, come over, fill them up, and then carry them back over. Morning, guys. I'm sorry I'm late this morning. Coming to get the food buckets. I'll feed you guys, and then I'm coming back in with yous. And I gotta carry 2.5 buckets over here. Oh, the fun. And I need to call the vet today. Schedule time for her to come out. I'm sure she won't call me back until Monday, though. To get Jasmine tested for Yonis. And I know she told me I don't need to test the other girls, but I'm going to do it anyway. I want to make sure that they do not have Yonis. So I'd rather be safe than sorry and test them again, because I know Beauty and Eve were like right on the line for being old enough to be tested the first time we tested them. So now that they're older, I'd like to test them again. All right, you guys are fed. It was definitely not fun carrying those 2.5 buckets of feed for you guys, but we did it. Now I got my bag of insulators. I'm gonna go down, try to fix the fence, move the bottom wire up. I'm not gonna try to unbury the insulators that are already in there, because this morning the ground is pretty frozen. So just gonna have to replace that bottom wire. There's already wire down there because we had like a square fenced in for the pipeline people. So thankfully I don't have to carry wire down. All right, I think I got that side all completely done. To here, I had to leave the insulator in the ground because it's way down there. So I need to put a new one up on top. So we'll put this up here. Yeah, that's fixed. I think I got all this. And I know last night it was getting really hard for me to see because I was out here working in the dark till hubby picked me up. I think that's all good. Looks good. The top wire, second from the top, is a little loose right there, but that looks good. I know there's a spot where I had to tie 2 ends together, but I'm not seeing it. I didn't think it was down this far. Maybe I passed it and I gotta go back. I'm gonna guess I passed it because I don't see it. I know it was definitely not fun last night. Back and forth, trying to figure out where all the wires went. And then they had wires tied together that snapped, that weren't supposed to be tied together. So then that's why they were crisscrossed a lot. It was not fun untangling everything. There it is, I found it. Right here in this section. That wire right there is missing, because I couldn't tie them together. I didn't quite have enough space. I mean, I didn't have enough to reach. So actually, I gotta go all the way back down there and grab some extra wire. But that's the last part over here that needs fixed. So after I do that, I shouldn't have to touch this part of the fence again. Just down here where the pipeline is. Okay, we put this fence up for the pipeline, so I can take this down and use this. Not gonna need this anymore, especially since they can't even get in here anymore. So I really don't understand why the pipeline would allow them to close that off. They didn't fence it in. They closed it off with the guardrail because usually the pipeline comes in here and mows that strip. Yes, we have cows in it now, but they don't know we're gonna have cows in here forever. How would they get in here to mow? We're just gonna jump over the guardrail or what? Like, I don't understand. Because last year, before we put the cows in here, they came in and they mowed this strip of pipeline. So, but obviously can't do that without there. On there, that's opened, is not their access. They're not allowed to go through there. And we're gonna be getting a contractor in here to make it a nicer slope and to put a parking pad up there. And then we're gonna put a nice metal gate up there. And that metal gate is gonna be locked with key. They're not gonna be able to get in. We are gonna lock it. So if they think they're gonna be using that part to get in to the field, they're not. That is not their access. So they might be upset if they think that's what they're using, because they're not. Man, hubby tied that together really well. I'm gonna need both hands. Okay, I'm all the way down here trying to move the bottom wire up. I moved all those insulators up, and I'll move these up once I get these up, but I'm having trouble with this one because this one, they're all intertwined because it's at the end, and I don't think I have any more of these insulators. I know I definitely don't have any on me. So, and I can't get this insulator out. I just can't, but I need to move this up. But I mean, there's just so much, I can't get that insulator out at all. So I'm gonna try to pull this pin out. Yes, it does come out. So then I can just move it up like that. It's gonna have to go up to there. I'm gonna have to move all these up. And then at the end, I'm gonna see if like the top one, I can just like put them both up there for now until we get more of these insulators, or I can find one in the shed. But man, this really sucks. Okay, well, I got these ones moved up, but then I got to here and I cannot get this one out at all. So I can't move that one up. But this hanging here is not gonna hurt anything. The fence will still work, so, but there's still, this one needs moved down a little. So this one can be moved down a little. So this one can be moved down a little, so we could put another one up on top. But we'll just leave it like that for now. I'm not strong enough to get this one out. So Dan has off work tomorrow, so I'll have him come out and fix that. I will lift up these insulators though and get this out of the ground. I did move this pole a little too, and then these are gonna be tightened when this is all done, but I don't want to do that yet until it's all done. So we're getting there. We're almost done. I gotta untangle this other section, get it out of the ground, and then figure out these handles were all twisted and tangled up. So I gotta figure out how they go. I'll grab my insulators because I'm gonna have to move the whole bottom row up. But thankfully, I don't think I need to replace any more wire. This 7th wire is underground the whole way down because there's never guardrail here before. So when they put it in, they pushed all that dirt. And now it's all underground. At least it looks like till right there. So I'll start down here, moving them up, work my way over. Okay, I think I got it. I tightened all the wires except for I know it's hard to see on camera, the wires, because they're white and the snow is white and everything, but I think I got it, except for this one here, obviously. And I know this whole pole needs taken out and redone, but I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that. Maybe hubby will do it this weekend. Probably just wait until spring though. But nothing's touching the ground now. It's all done. I put in new insulators, so that one's just gonna have to stay there. I can't get it out. And then I just put a new one on, moved it up. And then we will tighten the rest of the top wires once we bring another insulator out and hubby can unattach that one because I wasn't strong enough. But at least nothing's underground anymore. Nothing's touching the ground. fence should work correctly now. I'm gonna clean up all my poles from the temporary fence we had up, put them over at the landing, and then maybe I'll tell Dan to pick them up on his way home from work. When he gets home, grab them and throw them in the back of his car, because I'm not carrying them up through the field. All right, I'm all done. I'm gonna go walk the fence and make sure I didn't miss anything. Because you never know, I could have missed something, because it was dark last night when I was working on it. And I would say the only good thing that actually came out of this is we're not going to have to weed eat next year, because we put so many rocks so close to the fence. We're not going to weed eat the fence next year. So that's a good thing. And if for some reason the cows got through the fence here, I don't think they'd ever get through that guardrail. So it does help keep the cows in. So that's two good things that came out of it, I suppose. And I was able to fix it all. Just really wish I didn't have to, but now it's done, or almost done.
Later.
Okay, now I am in the kitchen. I am making my meatballs for the year. I'm gonna make a big batch, and then I'm gonna cook them and then freeze them. So we will have our meatballs to eat all year long. We won't have to buy any at the grocery store. Hopefully this lasts us. So I have 20 pounds of ground pork here. I'm gonna add my breadcrumbs and all my other ingredients. I'll put the recipe that I'm using on the screen. So I actually need 10 cups of breadcrumbs for this recipe for 20 pounds of meat. I'm gonna probably have to make more breadcrumbs. That's probably not 20 cups. So I have a lot of breadcrumbs to make. So I only had 7 cups of breadcrumbs and I needed 10. So I had to make some more, just using these old rolls that I had in the freezer and using my NutriBullet to turn them into breadcrumbs. So the breadcrumbs is actually the easy part. Now I need 20 eggs and 10 cups of grated cheese. The recipe calls for Parmesan cheese, but I don't have that. I'm just using cheddar cheese. That's what I always use. It turns out fine. So now I need 10 cups of finely diced onions, and I do not want to dice that much onion, and I don't have like an onion vegetable chopper thing, but I do have my bullet. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing to get all my onions chopped nice and fine. So I just cut my onions in chunks like this, put it in my bullet. I already had it out from doing breadcrumbs, so it's perfect. So as long as you don't chop it too much, it becomes real fine and like finely diced. So just don't leave it in there too long and it comes out really, really nice. Now that I got all my ingredients in there, comes the fun part of mixing it all up by hand, which is gonna take a while because we gotta make sure this is fully combined. Okay, the best way to cook a meatball is on the stovetop, frying it up. But who has time to do 20 pounds of meatballs that way? So I'm cooking them in the oven on a cookie sheet. I have them all laid out. Aren't they pretty? And I will suggest, do not use all the milk on the recipe. I think they get really, really wet. I didn't even use all the milk they said, and I put extra breadcrumbs in, and they're still really, really wet. So while these are cooking, I'm actually going to add more breadcrumbs to what I have left, because they're actually really hard to form into a ball because of it being so wet. So we're going to dry them out a little bit with some more breadcrumbs.
Tomorrow.
So it is the next day. We're in the kitchen. I'm sorry, I did not get to record the meatballs when they came out of the oven and me getting them off the pan. After they came out of the oven, I took them off the pan and I put them on another cookie sheet that was lined with parchment paper, and then I put them in the freezer overnight. So I kind of like pre-froze them before we pack them up. So now today we are vacuum sealing them. There is our pan of meatballs. I need to cut this. So we're loading them up using our vacuum sealer. And we will see how many packs of meatballs we get out of 20 pounds of ground pork is what we used. So we'll see how many packs we get, how many times we'll get to eat spaghetti and meatballs this year. Okay, we are all done, and 20 pounds of ground pork got us 18 packs of meatballs. So that's our year's worth of meatballs. So in the next year, we will be able to eat spaghetti and meatballs 18 times. Are you excited about that? So we are done doing meatballs for the year. Our pigs that we process will be turned into sausage. We still gotta make sausage yet, and stuffed shells. So we'll be making our stuffed shells. We're gonna be making a lot of pans of that. That's Dan's favorite. So stay tuned and you'll be seeing that. But that is all for today, and I will see you later. Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Like and subscribe.